What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me, if you can hear me. We got Jay Scott in the house. We got Christopher over here. We got Mary Douglas. We got Patrick. We got Crate Rogers. Good to see you. Gregory. We got Natasha. We got a bunch of people I can't see. So turn those damn cameras on. I dressed up real nice for you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Ludit. And, Martini, throw them out if the cameras aren't on in the next 60 seconds. And if anybody's wearing a tie, you get bonus points. And I'll send you my crypto pick. What's up, Dave? Good to see you, sir. And again, nice to see a bunch of members from our Wealth Academy. We got people in our investment club. We got people from our Crypto and DeFi Academy. We got people in our Kings of DeFi. That's our whole wealth vertical that we've got going on here at London Real. And I want to start by first just getting a raise of hands. How many people are looking to make some money in the next 12 months? Let me just say, hands up if you're looking to make some money. Come on, right? Oh, I got a smile out of Isabel. Isabel getting to crack me that smile. Come on, say money, money, money. Say it 3 times. I dare you not to crack a smile. Natasha Marco's like, oh, come on, Brian, that's cheap. Money, money, money. Okay. All right. And people, and Craig Rogers, no, you don't like money? Some people are here in my Wealth Academy like Christopher, and you know that this week, actually, on Friday, we're going to be doing our money affirmations every day. And I actually learned these from Rhonda Byrne, who made that movie called The Secret. And you can think what you want about that movie, but it's got some positives in there. And saying these money affirmations every day, it's funny how just talking about money can get us in a really good zone. And I don't believe money brings you happiness, but I think with money, you can actually do great things with this world and for this world. And so that's the way we look at everything here inside our Wealth Academy. I'm not looking to make an extra 10 grand on a crypto coin so I can go start buying my Lambo. I'd actually like to take my wealth and do great things with it and hopefully change the world, bring more freedom in the world, bring more accountability, bring more knowledge, bring more goodness in the world. And honestly, with that vision, funny enough, money comes much quicker to you when you do it that way. Does that make sense, everybody here? So we have a wealth mindset and philosophy inside. Also, when it comes to crypto, DeFi, blockchain, and our artificial intelligence investments, we have a 10-year horizon, a 10-year horizon. So quite frankly, I could care less what the price of Bitcoin is every day or even every week. And here's the good news. Bitcoin can go down and you can still make a ton of money in this market. Just give me thumbs up if that makes sense. Ethereum can trade sideways for the next 2 years, and we're going to make a ton of money in this space because we're going to be investing in projects that are being newly adopted and that are changing the world, changing the way corporations speak with customers, et cetera. And the price of Bitcoin doesn't really matter. It's like when the internet blew up the world, did the price of computers go up? No. Did the price of bandwidth go up? No. But the paradigm was adopted by people in the world. So trillions and trillions of dollars of wealth was created because of that. Is that clear for everybody here? We don't need Bitcoin to go up to make a ton of money in this market. You just need to understand blockchain, decentralized finance, crypto, AI. And this is what I'm going to talk about tonight. So last chance to turn your cameras on. Otherwise, we'll see you later. Throw them out, Martini, and let's jump in. I just cooked up a nice presentation. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them to me here. Mary Douglas said, money can hear you. It goes where it's wanted. You're right, Mary. It is. Money's like energy. If it doesn't flow, it doesn't do anything. Don't get me started, okay? We teach all these concepts in our Wealth Academy, and this week we're going deep on it. And I've been watching all my old episodes with Grant Cardone, Dan Pena, Jim Rickards, people like even Bruce Lipton, who know a lot about money, and I've been being reschooled about money. And even Joe Dispenza talks about money. So we're really getting honed in there. And guess what? We're making more money. Isn't that crazy, right, Martini? Isn't that crazy how that works, right? Money flows with good intentions and when it's being used, right? So the more money we make here, we put into calls like this, courses, better guests, better movies, and that brings more people into this space. They create more wealth, and like everybody wins. That's the future that we have here, and that's our vision. And I hope you all want to come along for a ride. So who's ready to check out what's going on with this presentation? All right, this is an interesting phenomenon that I really wanted to highlight and point out because it's bigger than it might seem. Okay, and so this presentation is how to profit from Bitcoin NFTs. And there's a recent announcement that Yuga Labs made $16.5 million in 24 hours on their Bitcoin NFT. Now, let's be honest. Even if you've been in this space for a long time, 6 months ago, you could not have predicted that headline. A Bitcoin NFT? What? You know, that was completely opposite sides of the spectrum in the past. If you went to Bitcoin, the conference in Miami last year, Nobody mentions NFTs because Bitcoin maximalists don't like DeFi, other coins, NFTs, other coins, people talking about other coins, you know. And I have great friends that are Bitcoin maximalists, like Max Kaiser, like Willy Woo, like Lynn Alden, like a bunch of guests I've had on my show, Jeff Booth. They're all Bitcoin maxis, as in it's Bitcoin and the rest is shite, as they would say in the UK. Is everybody with me here, right? Okay. But I disagree with that. Michael Saylor, I've had Michael Saylor on that owns billions of Bitcoin. And I disagree. I think there's a place for both in there. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. This will show you what's going on, and you're going to be surprised at some of the things I do. So if everybody's ready, thumbs up, cameras on. Nice to see some faces here. Turn your cameras on. Kim Job's looking good. Nathan looking good. Patrick, Jan Corton, big smile. Thomas there. Mark D, Alex. One more time. Let's say money, money, money 3 times. Come on. Money, money, money. Come on. Look at everybody. Isabel's like getting all jacked. Okay. All right. Mary's manifesting the money right now. Look, you can laugh a little bit, but I think an aggressive strategy towards increasing your revenues, understanding financial instruments, and also tapping into the quantum field. Why wouldn't you use all 3 to get wealthy? Why wouldn't you? That's what I do every day. So let's jump into it, folks. I'm going to share with you this presentation that's hot off the presses. I literally just cooked this thing up this morning. I put the final touches on it. Can everybody see this presentation here? Just thumbs up if you can see me. Yeah. This is an AI version of me. It simulates an older version of me for some reason. I'm even better looking than that in person. And we're embracing all things AI here at our investment club. So I thought I'd put that up as a little bit of fun. But this is how to profit from Bitcoin NFTs. And Yuga Labs, which is responsible for the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT. Just thumbs up if you've ever heard of the Bored Ape Yacht Club's NFTs. Thumbs down if you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's okay. We need all sorts of people. That's okay, James Power. It's all right. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have known a bored ape from a bored kitty cat. So it's all good. 16.5 million in 24 hours in what's supposed to be a bear market and a NFT winter, and it's happening. And I want to tell you what we need to look at here. This is bigger than NFTs. So let's jump into it. Before we get going, obviously our philosophy inside everything we do in the Wealth Academy and our crypto and DeFi accelerator is 2 things. First of all, 10-year horizon on everything. We believe that by creating value and adding value to the ecosystem, we in turn are rewarded with wealth beyond our wildest dreams. We also believe that every battle is won before it's ever fought. Okay, I don't go in, I don't throw darts at a board. I don't roll the dice. I don't choose cryptos because I heard it on the news or I read it on some article. We go in and we try to deeply research something so we can maximize our chances of winning before the battle is fought. Is that clear for everybody here? All right, it's the way I've always done things. It doesn't mean we win every time, but it means we win more often than we lose. And so that's the way I like to do these things. We're calm, we're collected, and quite frankly, we're relentless, and we have a long time horizon. So, I mean, look at London Real. I've been doing this now for 11 and a half years, okay? It's crazy when I think about it, all right? So every week there's been a new show for 11 and a half years. It's a little crazy. I try not to think about it too much. Why? It's because we have a long vision of what we're doing. We believe this has a higher purpose, a spiritual meaning, and wealth can be spiritual as well, by the way. And it also means that we look at this in a long game and we try to look at it in a way where we know we're going to win in that long enough time frame. Other people might try to get views or clicks or likes by the week, by the month, even by the year. For us, we've got a long-term plan that if we invest in the people, all those guests on London Real, if we invest in them over time, it might take a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Those assets are going to be valuable and valuable to you. So that's why we're here. We've been very successful in the background. I'll tell you more about that later. And look, when it comes to wealth, I've learned from some of the greats. So some of you might know some of these folks that I'm going to show shortly. And we're going to talk about 3 things today. First of all, why Bitcoin NFTs could be the future of the metaverse. All right, we know a lot about the metaverse here, and I'll talk to you about that shortly. The next thing I want to talk about is how the Bitcoin chain is regulation proof, or is it? Raise your hand if you might know what I'm talking about with the SEC and with Gary Gensler. All right, yeah, a few people know, right? Niels, you know what I'm talking about. Harry knows what I'm talking about, right? Gary Gensler, God bless him, has deemed Bitcoin to be he's going to leave it alone for now, at least, right? Until they started putting NFTs on it. But Gary has decided that Bitcoin is not a security. And since it's decentralized and doesn't have a founder and all these other little Gary tests, he's decided to leave Bitcoin alone and not at this point go off and regulate it. Now that could change. Gary is a guy I simultaneously like and dislike at the same time, a bit like Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. Gary taught a course at MIT where I went to school that I took online. It took me 24 hours. It's all there free on YouTube. And he's remarkably intelligently informed about all things blockchain. He actually understands it, but he acts like a politician as if he's running for president, which I think he is. And so he's used this blunt instrument and he goes out threatening people to try to punch above his weight for an organization like the SEC that doesn't even have any funding. He is ruining the blockchain for America, in my opinion. He's ruining tons of opportunities and he's just scaring people without being very clear, and it's frustrating. But it's good for us to know that right now he's leaving Bitcoin alone. So all things Bitcoin currently look like they're going to be regulation proof. Is that clear for everyone here? That changes a lot of things because at the same time, it looks like Yuga Labs is going to be under a lawsuit for creating the Bored Apes on the Ethereum chain. So we need to know these things for long-term investing. I'll come back to that. The last thing I want to talk about is how DeFi on Bitcoin can supercharge crypto markets. Raise your hand if you ever heard of DeFi on Bitcoin. What are you talking about, Brian? Well, guess what? I'm going to share with you a guest I had on London Real, whose coin is up 4x, by the way, in the last couple of weeks, even in a crypto bear market, because he does DeFi on Bitcoin. And I'll share that with you. So this is going to position you to potentially make a lot of money in this space. And Bitcoin doesn't have to move in price. Bitcoin can be 22,000 next year in 2024, and we can be making millions and tens of millions of dollars on the back of DeFi markets, on the back of NFTs. And so again, don't confuse the infrastructure with the value add on the other end of the infrastructure. Is that making a little more sense to everybody here, right? Again, Bitcoin doesn't have to move for lots of value to be created on the infrastructure of Bitcoin. Like I said, when the internet became huge from late 90s up until now, 20 years, like I said, the price of bandwidth, wires, mobile phones, computers doesn't have to go up, but everybody integrated this system into their paradigm. And that's what I want to talk about. I alluded shortly that I've been blessed by being mentored by some of the greatest creators of wealth on the planet. And these are some of them. Anybody know who this guy is? Throw your hands up if you know this gentleman. This is Grant Cardone, Mr. 10X himself. I'm a huge fan of Grant. I always will be. I will always support Grant, regardless of, whatever's happening on social media. I'm a huge fan of him and his wife, Elena. They have a spiritual connection to their work. And on the back of that, that's one of the reasons I think he's created so much wealth for other people and so much wealth in general. He's an amazing educator. He's a great out-of-the-box thinker, and I appreciate everything that Grant does. And he's taught me a lot about money, including what we were talking earlier with Mary Douglas about, is that money is like energy. It has to flow. It has to move, or it doesn't create value. If you save your money and you put it in the bank and hope there's some pennies when you get old, trust me, you're not creating value with that money. It's the worst thing you can do with your money. You're going to constrict, you're going to squeeze all the life out of it. If you get that moving and flowing around to other people and allow them to use it to create opportunities and wealth, it's going to multiply and magnify. And that's a little bit about what we teach inside all aspects of our Wealth Academy. The next guy is this gentleman. Anybody know this guy? His name is Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And this is him in my office. And we're talking turkey, going over some strategies. I think it was before one of our conversations. And Robert's a genius. The way he looks at wealth is amazing. And if you're in my Wealth Academy, we'll be going on deeper on what Robert taught. Robert says, poor people work for money and rich people make money work for them. How many people agree with that statement? Just put your hands up. Yeah. How many people work for money or have ever worked for money? I did. Look, let me just tell you, bankers and lawyers and doctors all work for money as well. That doesn't mean they're creating wealth. They're getting a paycheck. A paycheck is like a drug. It's worse than a drug habit, a paycheck. Nassim Taleb, the guy who wrote The Black Swan, said the three worst addictions in this world are addictions to heroin, carbohydrates, and a monthly paycheck. They're all dangerous because they turn you into a slave. You create nothing when you receive a paycheck. We want to create assets that cash flow. Guess what the blockchain brings us? Assets that cash flow. By the way, Robert does not own any stocks, does not like cash. What does he own? Gold, real estate, and what else? Bitcoin and Ethereum. Think about that. He's 77 years old and he gets it. Who else? Jim Rickards. wrote a book called The Death of Money. Very, very smart when it comes to global markets and the money flows. He's taught me a ton about cash in the background. And of course, your favorite, who knows this guy? Dan Pena, $1 trillion man. He's got the castle in Scotland. Here I am accepting his award. I'm on his Hall of Fame up there with billionaires and deca-billionaires. It's been an honor to be on this Hall of Fame. And I equally love and hate Dan Pena as well, because he really pushes you to be the best. And I think that's what we have to do every day. We got to come in and show up and go hard. And that's the way we're going to have success. So I've had a lot of great teaching. I want to try to impart some of this knowledge onto you. So let's get into this. Why could Bitcoin be the future of the metaverse? Well, look, NFTs on Bitcoin are a big deal, because before that, Bitcoin was this chain that always kept it to where that didn't happen. And quiet. Can everybody see my screen, by the way? No, you can't. You can't see it. Okay, let me just stop this one more time. I thought that my screen sharing was paused. Okay, hold on one second. Let's try this one more time. Can't see that, right? No, you're not seeing anything, right? No. Okay, cool. Put in the chat there. I see somebody pointing to me. It's on the main screen. Okay. Okay, hold on one second. Oh, the first slide, you can see it. Okay, let me try that one more time. Okay, so when I do this, oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Here we go. How's that? Booyah. Okay, cool. There we go. Nice. Okay, cool. So before that, you might have missed pictures of some of these beautiful people. These are the pictures of some of the beautiful people. And let's get into it. So what do NFTs mean for the Bitcoin futures valuation? You know, Bitcoin was always something that was just about one thing. It was considered digital gold. That's what Bitcoin has been considered, right? Pretty much a digital rare commodity. Whereas Ethereum was considered a digital technology play, something that was programmable, someone that could execute contracts, that could use logic, that could use DeFi. They were two very, very different instruments. Two, what we call blue chip cryptos, the two biggest, most important, and most stable cryptos. But gold was always considered this decentralized commodity. By the way, it's never gone down the Bitcoin network. And Lord knows, you know, it was attacked by terrorists all around the world, including terrorists known as, you know, the CIA and these kind of terrorists, right? You know, they tried to bring it down, but it's never been down. By the way, Facebook's been down, Google's been down, and your banking system has been down. But Bitcoin's never been down. But that's because it only did one simple thing. Or as Michael Saylor once told me, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations, Brian. It doesn't try to be everything. It tries to be this one thing, and it does it really well. Everybody with me here so far, right? Digital gold. But now these punks come along and they decide to start putting in small bits of information into the chain. So ordinals were the first Bitcoin NFT that dropped. And you can see here, it's only got 4 megabytes of information, but that's enough to squeeze a tiny game, a tiny photo, or a tiny image into this Bitcoin block. Before that, you hadn't really seen that happen. You could put a little bit of information. Satoshi was known for putting a headline of an article, I think back in 2007 or 2008, about, I think it was a British banking failure. There's a little bit of a headline in the original Bitcoin minting, right, from Satoshi. It's a little bit of a thing he left in there for us. But other than that, no one's tried to put too much data in these blocks. And the Bitcoin maxis don't want to increase the size of the block. They want to keep it small. And so it's been this phenomenon until the ordinals happened. And when it did happen, though, all of a sudden, in what was an NFT winter, as in NFTs were massive, and they came off 95% in value, one of them sold for $214,000, which, again, more than the current price of a CryptoPunk, which was before one of the most expensive NFTs on Ethereum. Again, if you had told me this headline a year ago, I would have thought that you were smoking something. This was some fiction book. So this shows us that potentially the Bitcoin network that's valued right now at about $400 billion potentially could be worth huge orders of magnitude on top of that if you can embed NFTs, games, photos, other information on there. It opens up a completely new use case. And that could fundamentally change the one blockchain that's not being touched by the SEC. The one blockchain that's been around longer than anyone else. The one blockchain that's been bulletproofed and stress tested more than any other blockchain out there. Clear for everybody? How many people own Bitcoin in this call? Just put your hands up if you own some Bitcoin. I know you do. Come on, be honest, right? Okay, even all of the hardcore people in decentralized finance, and we teach this in our crypto and DeFi academy, even the hardcore DeFi people, even the hardcore GameFi people, they all still own a Bitcoin in their portfolio. They do, because they know you have to have Bitcoin in your portfolio. Key. So what else can we learn? Yuga Labs then dove in and decided to have its first Bitcoin NFT auction. And they netted $16.5 million in 24 hours. That's big news. That's surprising. And it's interesting to see Yuga Labs dip their toe in here for two reasons. First of all, Yuga, it could have stayed out of this space, but Yuga decided to dip its toe in here and play around. Now, by the way, Yuga is responsible for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And after that happened, they dropped the ape coin into the Bored Ape ecosystem. And that created billions and billions of dollars by giving away a free coin to a bunch of people that had ape pictures on their wallets. They airdropped them free tokens, free coins, and the value of that went up to like $4 or $5 billion just because of that community. Is that clear for everyone? It was a massive moment in what we understand about the blockchain. And again, they're apparently under investigation by the SEC, and yet they still believe it was important to drop this NFT into the Bitcoin chain. I think this is something we need to look at, because if NFTs are there, there could be a metaverse there. If there's a metaverse there, all the Bitcoin maxis, all the people that believe this is the safest and potentially only crypto out there, it means that they might potentially be part of an ecosystem that's much bigger than we thought it was. Look, we always thought Bitcoin was going to be around, but we thought it was like gold. Gold is nice for your grandpa to have around. Maybe you guys have a few, but like gold's not going to be the next Amazon, or it's not going to be the next AI bots. But now all of a sudden you've got a new use case for Bitcoin, and it's worth looking at. So two things I want you to be thinking about. This could affect the long-term price of Bitcoin, but it also could enable other networks to plug into Bitcoin, which we haven't seen happen much. And I'm going to bring that up in my third point. I want to go next to what I mentioned as far as regulation proof. So how many people have seen the SEC cracking down on everybody? Just hands up if you have, right? I mean, Gary's not playing around. Again, you could say he's ultimately running for president or looking to be, but he's become a political animal. He just has. Look at the way he messages, looks the way he talks. He did run the campaign for Hillary before she was not elected, and he acts like a politician. He's ex-Goldman. He taught at MIT. He's probably made plenty of money for this. Maybe this is his long-term plan. And so he's cracking down on everybody, right? So obviously he's going after FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, even though he was having personal meetings with them, we heard 6 months ago, even though most of his party was probably being funded by FTX, but that's another story. So we know he was very close, and Sam was trying to push a bill through Congress and met with Gary that would have made it very hard for anyone else to get into the FTX game. And it would have been really bad for DeFi, from what we've heard, which is why my friend Bitboy Crypto was going after him, and he knew what was going on. So what else has Gary been doing? He's also been cracking down on Binance, right? Going after Binance. If I was CZ, I would stay out of the United States right now. He's getting rid of their stable coin. He's also going toe-to-toe with Coinbase and making it difficult for everybody. He's rejecting crypto's threat to move overseas, and he says the path to compliance is clear. He had a quote recently, and he quoted John F. Kennedy's father, Joe Kennedy, who actually was the original head of the SEC. And he said, "No honest man needs to fear the SEC." What do you make of that quote? I mean, what is that, a threat or what? That's like me telling my kids, like, if you're a good boy and you don't lie, then Papa's going to give you something good. But I see all. Like, it's like, come on, just tell me what to do, Gary. Why don't you just give us some regulation? Some people say the reason FTX collapsed and took down billions of dollars of Americans' net worth and worldwide net worth is because Gary never issued clear regulations, which meant FTX had to be in the Bahamas, which meant they couldn't be regulated, which meant they broke the law and they cost everybody money. Who here agrees with that logic? Thumbs up if you do. Thumbs down if you want to give Gary a break. I mean, you got Jay Scott here. Jay, wave your hands. Jay Scott's in our Kings of DeFi. He's a graduate of Crypto and DeFi Academy. Got his own YouTube channel that goes live all the time. And I agree with you. I think his lack of guidance created a lot of problems. And it's also pushed most crypto projects overseas, which means for the first time in the last 100 years, the United States does not lead the world in technology, not in this technology. It's a sad state of affairs. Now, look, I live in Britain. What can I say? I'm not rattling the jingoistic sword of America, but I'm just saying you've got one of the greatest superpowers, the smartest technology brains in the world, and they're not leading the development in crypto. Why? It's because of this guy. So yeah, I'm calling you out, Gary, if you watch this later. And obviously, I spent so much time with BitBoy that I'm sure there's guilt by association here anyways. So again, we can see that SEC cracking down on crypto, it's making it hard for the markets to rally. My question is that will Gary go after Bitcoin if he sees NFTs being minted on that? Because we know he's going after NFTs right now. So this is something to think about, and it's something we all need to be aware of going forward. Maybe Bitcoin isn't as safe as we think it is. So keep your eyes on the Bitcoin conference in Miami. Keep your eyes on what Michael Saylor and Max Kaiser say. But from what I've seen so far, the Bitcoin maxis hate NFTs on Bitcoin because you're messing with their little party, their little nice, simple party that you're messing with it. And they don't like it when you mess with their leave Bitcoin alone party. I personally love innovation, but I guess I see where they're coming from, but we'll see. Gary might not leave this alone forever. Okay, sound good for everybody? So let's keep an eye on this. I want to finish with the most important point I'll make here, which is this. DeFi on Bitcoin could supercharge crypto markets. This could be the change that can change the thing that changes the game, and it's already changed the game. Put your hands up if you've heard of a protocol called Stacks. It's STX on CoinMarketCap, right? Okay, we got some smart people in the room here. Niels and Marco, Mary Douglas. Mary knows what time it is. Okay, Christopher as well. So Stacks surges as the Bitcoin NFT hype grows, okay? Stacks is a fascinating company because it's the only company that ever talked about doing DeFi on the Bitcoin blockchain, ever. Now, how do I know this? Because I know the founder of Stacks, because I interviewed him on London Real a year ago. And Dr. Munab Ali is a very intelligent guy, okay? He's a computer scientist. He's a technology entrepreneur. He's a Bitcoin evangelist. Of course he is, but he's also the co-founder of Stacks. And, Munab Ali is a very smart guy. And I got out of this interview about a year ago and I walked out. I remember I spoke, I think, Martini, to the Kings of DeFi that night. And I said, look, this is the only guy doing DeFi on Bitcoin. I remember I said, why wouldn't you invest in your portfolio in that? Why wouldn't you put, if you're invested in 10, 20 companies, which is what we're doing, by the way, in the investment club. Why wouldn't you put some money in that? Because Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Bitcoin's going to become more and more massive. And if there's even a chance that this guy might have something, why wouldn't you put money in this portfolio? Okay, now look, on Ethereum, everyone and their mother's doing DeFi, okay? And every other L1's doing DeFi. Justin Sun, our friend, is doing it. They're doing it over at Cardano. They're doing it over at Avalanche. We got good friends over there. My buddy Sandeep is doing it at Polygon. They're all doing it. Okay, great. But on Bitcoin, there's one person doing it. And this is the biggest blockchain in the world. It's the most decentralized blockchain in the world. It's the highest market cap blockchain in the world. It's been around the longest. It's got more adoption. Why wouldn't you put some money in this thing? And guess what we've seen Stacks do? It's gone up 4x in the past month in a crypto bear market, right? 4x. This is a Bitcoin-based protocol. This isn't like some crazy new metaverse, right? This isn't like the Tiger King coin, right? It's not something crazy. This is on the most robust blockchain in the world. He's offering DeFi and other related protocols on it, and it's up 4x in a bear market. There's a reason for this. By the way, see the line on the left here? It flatlined for like a year, and then it was like pow, when nothing else is going up. So there's a reason this is true. And what I wanted to do is I want to play for you a video of Munab Ali. So listen to what this guy has to say, because you'll start to get a feel for what's going on. And again, we are blessed here at London Real, is that I get the chance to talk to these greats on a regular basis. So here's just a little bit from my conversation I had with Dr. Munab Ali.
Bitcoin is a monetary system where the rules are transparent. Everyone knows what is the supply of Bitcoin, and it's not going to change. So it levels the playing field for everybody. It's not that, hey, if you lose your Bitcoin, you can go and get a bailout from the protocol. That's never going to happen, right? So the rules are actually the same for everybody. So it's actually a much more fair system to work with. And similarly, if you apply that concept to the internet, it becomes a much more fairer internet. Like everyone has ownership, everyone has kind of like their own property rights, and the rules are transparent to everybody, right? Which was just never there.
You must have a hard time, and I know I do, trying to tell people why Web 3.0 is better than 2.0, because they say, well, YouTube's great, and Facebook has all my pictures and my friends, so what's the problem? You know, we've been basically given our data up and it's being sold back to us, and we don't know any better.
A lot of Web 2 founders are actually having a hard time understanding crypto. When I discovered crypto, it just felt like this is the future, and Silicon Valley started feeling like the past. The jump of like not having the internet and then having the internet was huge, but the jump of like defining digital property might be like 100x or 1000x bigger than that, because I think that is a fundamental shift in society. That's the only thing I'm pushing for. That we need more developers, we need more applications, and we as a community need to be supportive of developers, of people who are entrepreneurs who are coming and trying to build new businesses around Bitcoin, instead of really pushing them away to other ecosystems.
All right, we like Dr. Ali. Smart guy, isn't he, right? Now, listen to what he said. This is the reason I actually got you here tonight. He said, defining digital property. That's what this is all about. And that will get 100x to 1000x bigger. Defining digital property. That's what this is all about, folks. This isn't about the price of Bitcoin. This is about all of your digital assets that nobody is valuing properly. Nobody is owning properly. When you finally value and start to transact in all of these digital assets around the world, from your identity to your browsing history, to your medical history, to those photos on Facebook, to everything that is your digital property, and we start to actually track that and define that, that's where the 1000x is here. And things like these Bitcoin NFTs start to show us where some of that intellectual property is valued, right? And that's where the metaverses come in. That's where your digital assets come in. Again, even your identity, where we could start to value these things. That's where the multi-trillion-dollar markets start opening up here. And like I said, the price of Bitcoin, it's really a moot point. Bitcoin is the network. If the network goes up in value because Bitcoin doubles, that's great. But the real value is everything that's going to ride on the back of it, and what all things blockchain, metaverse, NFTs is going to bring to everything that we do in our life. When that happens, we're going to see this entire ecosystem become so massive that, look, how many people have one of these in your pocket or on your desk right now? How many people have one of these things, right? Raise your hand if you do. I'm guessing almost everybody does. I would argue that an hour in your life doesn't go by that isn't affected by the internet or the mobile phone in your life. Almost everything you do is somehow connected to that phone. Your calendar, your alarm, your information, your schedule, your email to someone, it's all here. And yet what? 10 years ago or 20 years ago, zero was here. Is everyone seeing where I'm going here, right? Zero was there. Now, look, the price of Apple went up somewhat, okay? The price of maybe telecoms went up a little bit, but that's not where the value was. The value was everything that was created on the backbone of this. Well, guess what, folks? The new backbone is Bitcoin. It's the blockchain. It's metaverses. It's Ethereum networks. It's all of that. And that's going to create tens or hundreds of trillions of dollars of value on the back of it. When you can understand that, you put yourself in a position to create massive generational wealth. And that's what we do. That's what we're here for. So if we can understand the nuances of how this works, or even if you can be reminded today that you're not crazy and that you are right, that crypto and blockchain is going to change the world, right? Your friends are all laughing at you, right? Because you bought Bitcoin at 69,000 back in October of 21, okay? But you knew something was different here, right? You know that these things give us our freedom. They give us ownership of our digital assets. When YouTube takes it away, Facebook takes it away, Apple takes it away from us. They all want to take away our information and sell it back to us. Crypto gives us a chance to own our information and to have peer-to-peer transactions, right? We got Mary here, Mary Douglas. You and I can have a peer-to-peer transaction. Guess what? You and I can have a relationship. It doesn't have to go through Google, YouTube. They're not going to take a third out of everything that we do. That's what happens right now. So that's why it's important to really pay attention to what's going on here. This is more than just an NFT on Bitcoin. This is really something much more advanced. And I just want to go back and to this deck really quickly here and just show you just some of the conclusions. So it's 4x on a bear market. By the way, keep an eye on stacks. It's coming off a bit, but I'm not telling you to buy stacks. I'm telling you, the more you educate yourself about this ecosystem, you will see the next $1 billion opportunity for you. And I'm not joking. It's for you. The companies we're investing in right now in our investment club will become $100 billion companies, is what we know they will. It's not like we're guessing, right? $1 billion company is not a big deal anymore. So we want to invest in the companies that are going to become $100 billion companies on the back of this infrastructure. That's what we want to know. We want you to be able to empower your business to where you can make it transform based on these infrastructures. If you can do that, you can get much more than a 4x return. A 4x return is a bit of it's a bit of a yawner. I mean, look, it's better than a sharp stick in the eye. It's better than where your savings are, your 401k plan. But I think we can do much, much better on the back of it. So again, one thing we always want to continue to remember is, all of this stuff is happening, and these Bitcoin ordinals, and a lot of people are going into these Bitcoin layer 2 token stacks. And again, just stacks and STX is something we want to keep our eye on because all of this stuff is happening in the background. And so ultimately, I want you to remember a couple of fundamental lessons here. When Bitcoin rallies, as in when the price of Bitcoin goes up, remember, everything rallies. So again, I keep saying the price of Bitcoin doesn't matter, and it doesn't. But when Bitcoin does go up, it's going to pull all systems up, including stacks, including Ethereum, including everything. So just keep that in mind. What happens if Bitcoin does matter. But like I said, 2 years from now, if the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum is the same, that's okay. Meanwhile, we believe we're going to have created billions of dollars of value in our investments, in our education, in our pre-sale tokens, and in how we how we adopt these things in our businesses. And that's what we do inside Wealth Academy. That's what we do in Crypto and DeFi Academy, inside Kings of DeFi, and inside Investment Club as well. And so I believe to build your future, you got to do 3 things. You got to have education, influence, and early stage investments. Education, you've got to invest in yourself. Grant Cardone will tell you that the best investment you can make is in yourself, because you can literally get 100x returns on yourself. Even for all of you knowing this could literally give you some big returns. Just by something you've learned here tonight, this could be $1 million idea for anybody here. And so that's to educate yourself on crypto, on DeFi, metaverse, NFTs, AI, all the things that we're doing in the background, gaming as well. And of course, NFTs are a part of the gaming sector in many ways. Influence. You want to start thinking about how you can educate people around you. Tell them what you're doing. Publish articles, ideas, blog posts, things on social. Teach, broadcast. A lot of people here in this group have their own channels where they broadcast on a regular basis. You can start small and see where it takes you. And of course, early stage companies. This is where the real asymmetric returns are. You would have seen probably some of my master classes I've taught on this. This is where you get your 100x, your 300x, your 400x, your 2000x returns. It happens by taking these principles I just told you and use them towards an early stage company. And you can get these massive, massive asymmetric returns. Bigger risk, but much bigger reward. So that's what we're doing behind the scenes. That's why you see me traveling all around the world. This is me in Dubai back in October, hanging out with people in the Dubai government, big influencers like Carl the Moon, people like BitBoy Crypto on the bottom. On the bottom right, I'm in one of the biggest venture capital firms there in Dubai. I'm hanging out there because this is where I get the information on deal flow. This is where I find out what's happening next. This is where I get the inside scoop on what's happening. This is me in Paris. By the way, I'll be in Paris in 2 weeks at the Paris Blockchain Week Summit. This week it's at the Louvre. I mean, this month it's at the Louvre. What can I say? The Mona Lisa and I will be in the same place. It's a beautiful thing. And I'll be spending my time at these private dinners and hanging out with these venture capital firms to find out what's hot and how I can get my students in on these early stage investments, because we're going to make billions of dollars on these. This is me at Token 2049 in London, and I'm just hanging out with a lot of our people, including Yatsu from Animoca Brands, who's in the upper left and the bottom right. He was on London Real. He's been on London Real twice. One of the biggest guys in the metaverse. And of course, some of our portfolio companies. I've got Sammy Twagu here from Cross the Ages here in the middle with his Cross the Ages t-shirt. We've invested in them, and they're one of the hottest companies right now in the metaverse and blockchain. So we're putting all of this knowledge to work. You have to invest in yourself, learn, but then understand how to put it to work to make the returns. Let's be honest, buying and selling Bitcoin and Ethereum is not going to create a billionaire out of you. you're going to have to think of doing it other ways. Also, it's very boring to buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can be doing so much more by putting ideas out there, advising these companies, et cetera. And so that's why it comes to our philosophy. I believe you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Give me thumbs up if you think that's true. Okay. And I'll take it one step harsher. One of my mentors, Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man, would say, and who are you hanging out with? Losers. That's what he would say. All right. Now, I don't know all of you personally, and I'm not saying you're hanging out with losers, but are you hanging out with high performance people that are going to create $1 billion of value in the next 5 years? Raise your hand if you are. Oh, you're hanging out with me. Okay, cool. I know what you're talking about, right? Okay, good. So, but most of us just aren't. Even before I started London Real, I wasn't hanging out with high performance people. I mean, a few here and there, a few, but it wasn't all 5 of my people in my peer group. No. You know, I mean, if you want to check, go to your text messages right now, pull out your phone and look at your last 10 text messages. Like, that's a good question. These are the people you allow in your inner circle. How many of those are creating $1 billion companies? Very few. Right? How many are doing high performance things? If not, you need to get yourself involved with that peer group, right? Which is why I sent my daughter off I encouraged her to explore universities in America, because I knew if she stayed in London, she just was going to be a big fish in a little pond. She's very smart, and she needed to go to a place where she was being pushed with all sorts of really smart students from around the world, and she is. And I'm really happy that she decided to go there, which is why I got myself to MIT from San Diego. I could have stayed in San Diego. I was a smart kid in my high school. When I got to MIT, I was the dumb kid. Trust me. And it really made me step my game up and push myself harder than I ever thought possible in order to survive. And I did. And it really helped me a lot. So you need to put yourself in that same situation. These are some of our great students inside our academy. I was just DMing Marianne here on Facebook earlier today. This is Marianne Bartels, 35-year Wall Street veteran, was high-level C-suite executive at companies like Merrill Lynch and Bank of America. Marianne's a graduate of our DeFi Academy, our Kings of DeFi, and she's in our investment club. She's invested in the investments I'm going to talk about now as well briefly, and she's investing in our latest deal as well. She's incredible. She's highly knowledgeable about all things. I think she knows what the Federal Reserve is going to do before they do it. She understands inflation, yield curves, equity markets, stock markets. She's one of the few people we get to hang out with on a regular basis. We get to hang out with her every week inside Kings of DeFi and Investment Club, and it's an amazing thing. We also get to hang out with Andrew Haynes. He's an expert in the metaverse and NFTs. I have yet to get Andrew's take on the Bitcoin NFTs. I'm curious what he says. He builds in the sandbox. He also hangs out in Switzerland with some of the top C-suite executives at the Fortune 100 companies in the world. He's got his foot in both worlds. And again, we get to hang out with Andrew on a regular basis. A lot of our people have bought digital land with Andrew in the sandbox and other places. And this is how you get there, by hanging out with these people. This is what we do inside our academies. And of course, there's Dr. Encore Patrick, who's in there creating amazing content. He took a dare from me to do 10 vlogs in 10 days and put them on YouTube. He didn't want to do it. How many people here want to do that? 10 vlogs in 10-day challenge? Of course you don't, because I don't know what's going to happen, Brian. You have all this resistance, right? He did it and he kept going. 365 videos later, he's done it for a year straight. He's got hundreds of thousands of views. And the other day he got offered $100,000 in pre-sale tokens from a company that wanted his advice, and he turned them down. That was for free, and he turned them down. He's got better offers. And he's brought our last 2 deals to our investment club. And with this latest deal, he's getting 1% of the upside of the deal. So this is a guy who remade his whole career because he joined our DeFi Academy. Before that, he was in medicine. So this is amazing. And again, surround yourself with these amazing people. So again, education, mentorship, and community. That's how you win in this space. If you can find some way to get those 3, you're going to win. And of course, that's what we teach. So our next Crypto and DeFi Academy starts on Monday. We'll talk about all these concepts we talked about today and more. We go heavy into DeFi. We talk also after that course in Kings of DeFi, we talk about NFTs, metaverse, you name it. This is what we teach. It's a 4-week course. It's an accelerator. It's a boot camp. And it's just an amazing way for you to be part of what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. We teach it all virtually, but people create communities and they stay together forever. It's an amazing community. And we meet also in different places around the world. It's 8 hours of live calls. It's access to our e-learning platform and all my teaching. It's an accountability system, which makes sure you show up and you do the work, and it creates community because you see videos from everybody around the world. We've graduated, I think, over 5,000 students in over 100 countries in our academies. We know how to keep people accountable and get them to do the work. We got coaches, team leaders, community managers, private groups for posting all your videos. It's just an amazing way to get things done. And with this link at LondonReal.tv/buy, we pre-approved you, if you're on this live call, to go ahead and join this course. Like I said, the next one starts Monday. You'll jump into this, you'll see the peer group, and you'll also get access and exposure to all of our people in Kings of DeFi and the Investment Club. So it's amazing. Look, it's 4 modules. Week 1 is just the entire history of crypto and the blockchain. You'll read the Bitcoin white paper, like you really read the white paper. You'll go through the ICO boom and bust. You'll go through the whole history of this, which really gets you set up for making money in this space. Week 2 gets you in the arena. You do hot wallets, you do cold wallets, you set up centralized exchanges, and you do your first DeFi trade. It's a decentralized finance swap, and you can understand how this stuff works. Smart contracts, you name it. It scares most people, but once you do it, you realize you're super powerful. Then we get into week 3. We go into yield swapping, liquidity pools, and you buy your first option on crypto. It mostly blows people's mind, but once you do it, you realize it's actually not that hard. And in week 4, we actually teach you how to manage risk, how you control your emotions, stop loss orders, asymmetric returns, manage portfolios, and we really educate you on how to do that. That all happens in 4 short weeks. But don't take my word for it. I'll play just a really quick video here. It's only about 40 seconds long. This is just what some of our students say. It's always like fun for me to look at just like what some people say about like what we do here. It's always kind of like exciting as well, just to see what they're saying. But yeah, this is, let me see here. This is just a quick look into what some of the people are saying. Yeah, here you go. It's a funny looking video, but there you go. There's me in the beginning, and then I think we get into our
Academy. I've told you, my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
Love the course, would recommend it to anybody who's starting out in this space and wants to know more and wants to fast track their learning. Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Having Brian teach us the DeFi course, it's been surreal. He was there for us, and those calls were very pivotal. I'd like to personally thank Brian. Brian, thank you very much. It's been awesome. Look forward to seeing you in Kings.
You definitely need this course because crypto and DeFi are here to stay.
Go to LondonReal.tv/DeFi and submit your application now.
I love that. They're here to stay, and they're not going anywhere. And you need to understand this ecosystem right now, because it's going to change the way your children look at money and their children. It's going to change everything about this world. And if you enjoy your freedom, anybody here enjoy your freedom? Raise your hand if you enjoy your freedom. I do. Well, you better understand that you need to control your money if you want to keep your freedom. That's crucial. So again, you're pre-approved on this call. There'll be a link in this chat. When the call's over, you'll have to go through the application process. But just because you all came, I want to give you all a bunch of bonuses that we usually only save for super premium members. And I'll give you all this if you want to join us today. First of all, I'll give you Dan Pena live at the Ritz. It's a 2-hour video of Dan yelling a lot and really pushing you to be the best version of yourself. This isn't available anywhere. You can't even buy this. People paid a lot of money to join this. It was at the Ritz Hotel in London about 6 years ago. And there were a couple billionaires in the room, and it created a couple $100 million worth of work, just this event alone. And we'll send that to you. It's 2 hours. I apologize in advance, is all I have to say, but it should motivate you to get to the next level. I'm also going to give you module 1 of Kings of DeFi, which is our course that people take after graduating from the 4-week accelerator. This is a really long program. People are in here for 6 months, sometimes a year. This is where Jay Scott is. A lot of people create YouTube channels. This teaches you how to trade like the Terminator, how to maximize your profits. I use a reward to risk ratio of 2-to-1. We talk all about that. In this course, you'll mint your first NFT. You'll understand the technical analysis and all the chart reading. You'll get into the metaverse. You'll also learn all about stable coins, portfolio management, influencer management, and even fund management if you want to do that. It's a great group of people, which is amazing. But this is a bonus I've never given out before. And that's module 1 of our investment club. Our investment club is a group of 50 people worldwide. We only accept 10 a quarter, and it always is oversold and it always fills out. These are the people investing in these early stage investments where we're making these massive asymmetric returns. And so this is module 1 you're going to get as a free bonus if you join tonight. And it's what is a crypto token pre-sale and how you can invest early in these tokens before they go on an exchange, before the ICO, before the IDO. And it shows you how it works as SaaS and SAFEs as well. And this is where the real money is. If you do not have investments inside of this, I don't think you're properly investing. And again, this isn't a large portion of your portfolio. The deal we're putting together now, we're going to put $500,000 in this deal by the end of the week. Our students, some are putting in as little as $5,000 in this deal. Some are putting in $50,000. But the point is that it just takes one of these to change everything. Because if you put $10,000 in a deal that does 1,000x, I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize, that's $10 million. So these things can really change the game, even for a small amount of money involved. And we'll give you module 1 if you want to join us there. By the way, these are 2 of our deals that we're doing in the investment club. One of them was a DeFi protocol on the Multiverse X platform, formerly Elrond. Elrond, I had the CEO on the show. He introduced me to this protocol, and it was up 5x in 1 day. Like that's just, and again, this wasn't even a big deal for us. This was a small investment. We didn't expect 100x, but we thought, you know what, 5x return in 1 day is not too bad, right? So this is one of the deals. The other one was Orange Comet. I had their CEO in the chair here a week ago. I think its episode launches on Monday, by the way, on Sunday. These guys are transforming the metaverse. They're ex-Hollywood people that are creating amazing NFTs, from Anthony Hopkins and Scottie Pippen of the Bulls, that are selling out in record time. This is me with David Broom, who crushed it. And we think this is going to be a deca-billion-dollar company. It's going to just be absolutely amazing. And it's going to make a lot of money for everybody involved. We put $500,000 in this as well. And we've got a hot deal happening right now, which I just did a masterclass on. So if anybody really is interested, speak to Martini about this, because we've got, I think, 1 space open in the investment club, and whoever gets in will get in on the latest deal, which I can't talk about, but you can go learn about more on that as well. So that's what that is. We've also got another bonus on how to trade NFTs as well, which we'll throw in. So that's what's happening. You're pre-approved on the Crypto and DeFi Academy. I'd say it's a great place to start. LearnReal.tv/buy. I teach it all personally. I'm there live with you Mondays and Thursdays every single week for 4 weeks. It's an amazing community. And also we bring in guests from our Kings of DeFi and our investment club, and they tell you what happens afterwards. It's pretty exciting stuff. So look, any questions you got, please put them in the chat. I got a few minutes, but I just want to say the DeFi Academy, look, it's not for certain types of people. It's not for crypto day traders. Please go somewhere else if that's what you do, because you're going to lose money. It's not for people that want to get rich quick. I think that's a bad way of looking at money. That's a great way to lose money. It's for people that want to create value. Once you do that, that's how you get wealthy. And it's not for academics as well. If you like going in the forums and chatting about things, I'm looking for people that want to take action. And so this is my favorite movie, probably the movie Wall Street. And Bud Fox says, life all comes down to a few moments. Well, if you're with me on this call, or if you're listening to this right now, I'd say this is your wake-up call. You got a chance to jump in this. The bear market is where you make billionaires and millionaires. That's the time to invest. Right now, Martini can tell this, we're seeing all the hottest deals in the world right now, because it's a bear market and we are aggressively investing and promoting these companies. While everybody else is going home crying to their mommy and they're licking their wounds in the corner and crying about Sam Bankman-Fried, we're like, what are you talking about? This is the greatest creation of wealth in human history. And everybody sees us, and we're going aggressively into this. That's why we're building in the bear market, and that's why we're going to make so much money. You need to just think about how you want to worry about this. You can go whine and complain and be a victim in these markets, or you can use this as a chance to grab market share. This is what Grant Cardone did in 2008. This is what Dan Tanya did in the oil markets when oil was going down, 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 down. He was aggressively buying oil companies in the oil sector. That's how he made so much money. It's a mindset. It's purely a mindset. Do you want to be a victim, or do you want to look at this and say, this is an amazing opportunity? Any fool can make money in a bull market, folks. When crypto's going to the moon, all you have to do is buy a little. And everybody and their mother wants to be a moon boy. That doesn't take effort. This takes effort. Staying focused, right? Staring into the abyss in a bear market. We do that. And we have a great network of support that does it. And we're having a great time right now, by the way. So that's it. Again, pre-approved, LearnReal.tv/buy. And now I'd love to open up for some questions. Was that helpful for people? Did you enjoy that? I had a good time doing that, right? That was fun. Look, if there's any questions here, go ahead and type them in the chat. I'd love to answer them. I got an episode with Governor Jesse Ventura next soon, so I got to go get ready for him. Former governor of Minnesota, former World Wrestling Association. He was in the movie Predator. Come on. So I got to prep for Jesse, but I just want to say before I go, if anybody has any questions, now is the time to ask them. Also, we've got Martini here. Martini is, she's incredible. She's our director of operations. She's also pretty much runs everything in the Wealth Academy. and all of our investment club, Kings of DeFi, Crypto and DeFi Academy. So Martini's the one you want to go to. She is our gatekeeper that makes sure the right people come into our networks, and that is Martini. And she's a great contact if you want to understand more about what we do inside the Wealth Academy. She's also the one that will kind of allow you in our investment club. So Martini, just want to know, like, for anybody here, next steps for them to take if they're considering Crypto and DeFi Accelerator or even Kings or Investment Club, just your thoughts, and then I'll try to answer a few questions here before we got to go.
Yes, just amazing. And it's just so exciting to be a part of such an amazing group of people, community, as well as be on the cutting edge of something, an amazing thing that's happening for the future, and the future is now. And, they always say that the bear markets create billionaires. And the beauty of it here with the London Real Academy is that we are a part of a team that's building wealth, sincere wealth during this time. And what it takes to build wealth is definitely education, influence, as well as early stage investing. And we've got all of that completely covered in the London Real Academy, starting with the Crypto and DeFi Academy. And with that, we take you through step by step. So if crypto, DeFi, metaverse, AI, all of this stuff is new to you, don't even worry about it, because we are with you every step of the way. And it's starting with 4 weeks of coming to see us in the Crypto and DeFi Academy. And what it's definitely going to take for you guys to move forward with this is what Brian said: education, mentorship, and community. So go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put my links inside of the chat here for you guys to, one, take a look at the information and what the Crypto and DeFi Academy entails and how we can definitely support you. There's definitely going to be a link inside if you want to go ahead and book a call with me. If you have any questions about your journey, if you're new to crypto, if you've been in for a while, it's so interesting to see some of the testimonials that we've had. We've had some people who are very new, and we've had some people who are very seasoned in this space and still learned quite a lot through that 4-week course and progressed to be with us in Kings of DeFi and then later on Investment Club. So if you are serious about building that wealth, that generational wealth, or just wanting to build a better future for yourself, we've got you covered. So go ahead and book a call with me. If you don't see a time available, connect with me and send me a message on Facebook or send me an email and let me know where you are in the world and what time it is, and we'll definitely connect. So we hope to see you on the inside starting on Monday, and let's get that wealth journey started. Back to you, Brian.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Martini. Really appreciate that. And like I said, Martini pretty much is the one to speak to about everything. Our 4-week Crypto and DeFi Accelerator, and even some of our early stage investments and Investment Club, et cetera. She's the one to talk to about anything. So book a call with her, but if you do, just make sure you're serious about it. She's really busy, and she'll ask you a bunch of questions beforehand to make sure, but she's really good to find out if this is the right fit. I think one of the most important things I want to say right now is, if you really want to create wealth, and I think we all do, because for me, wealth means you're living the best life. It's not just about having a bunch of money in the bank or having a Lamborghini. It's about living a fulfilled life. And if you want to do that, it starts with the mindset shift. You really need to start thinking about the world in a different way. When you start looking at the world at a place where you can just add value to, create value, create amazing things that the world is going to just thrive on the back of, that's how you really create wealth. I always hate that narrative when people look at Bezos and they're like, oh, that guy's just greedy. That's why he has all that money. No, he has all that money because he created something that added so much value to people that they valued it at billions and billions of dollars. We need more of these people in this world. I want more ultra wealthy people because it means they've done that. And once you start looking at money that way, it'll even change the way that you start probably receiving money. So again, we can all be wealthier. We could create 10x the wealth in this world right now if everybody just showed up every day wanting to be the best version of themselves. The whole world would pop. So think about it that way. Get around a peer group that thinks that way, because I guarantee your current peer group doesn't think about money that way for a lot of reasons. Once you do that, and once you plug into the instruments of crypto and DeFi, which will allow you to scale, you're on the fast track to creating generational wealth in a couple of years. It can be done in the blockchain. Encore's a great example, who I think was on this call, or he was on that call. He literally came from a completely different field, and within 14 months has reinvented himself to be at the top of this field. Crypto is it's like kind of like, you know, maybe like going out west back in the day. Like you could go out there with just a little bit of hustle and you could create things. The same is true in this space. So it's basically a force multiplier for your passion, your hustle, your excitement. It's a beautiful place to be, and it's coming either way. So you can learn it now or you can learn it later. You can do it for yourself now, or the governments will do it to you with their CBDCs later. But it's happening either way. Trust me. So you want to be ahead of this thing, and we're going to be well ahead of that as well. So there you go, folks. I'm going to go jump and get ready for Jesse Ventura. All I got to say is pull the trigger. Don't let me see you on another one of these. Let me see you inside my academy, and let's start really doing something. I like for these to be entertaining, but I don't like the concept of entertainment. I like the concept of action. Okay. This isn't about me. This is about you doing something and taking action and getting out of your comfort zone. You have more power than you think. You have more influence than you think. You can do so much. Martini and I have seen so many people come from doing very little with their life to becoming massive parts of this ecosystem. Influencers, contributors, investors, advisors. It's almost like it's a brand new career, a brand new them. Some of these people are in their 50s and 60s, 70s. We have someone in their 80s in the investment club, and he's having a ball of a time. He's like, Brad, I wish I met you 20 years ago. This is crazy. He's investing money. He's creating NFTs. Seriously. So this is all waiting for you, but you're going to have to take action and pay the price to action. One of my mentors, Dan Payne, said, pay price to action. My courses cost money because I need to see if you're serious. I don't give courses away for free, and I don't do it for small price points because I get a bunch of people that aren't committed. I want there to be a barrier to entry. I want it to be like, okay, man, I got to pay for that. Okay. Yeah. Because I want to know you're in. We don't like people wasting our time. Martini's less tolerant than me. So when you pay to be in that thing, we know you're going to be in for a while, and that's why we do it. Just so you know, it gets great people. And the higher the price points go up, the more dedicated people we get. And the people at the top echelon, you're with a high level group of people that are no joke. So that's it, folks. Really good stuff to see you. I hope we see you in the DeFi Academy. Speak to Martini if you're curious about any of our programs. And like I said, I think we've got one more spot for the investment club as well. And our deal is closing, I think, this week. So look forward to seeing you all. Have a wonderful one. And I'm live with Jesse Ventura in about an hour. All right. Bye, everybody. Take care.